All right, welcome back, everybody. More BSL on the way. We finished our first best of 3, and that means we're getting into best of 3 number 2. Yeah, that one. Wow. Well, what a way to see our first game transpire. Tie 2, unfortunately, couldn't do it after an early 1-game lead, and it was SPX that moves on to our winners match. Coming up next, we get a chance to watch our pre-qualified player in the round of 16. DragOn, he's going to be taking on Gorynich, one of the best Zerg players for Russia. So it's going to be really exciting and always kind of interesting to see what kind of shape players are in after we haven't seen them play in a whole lot. I'm not sure if DragOn streams, but if he does, I haven't watched that. So I'm not sure exactly what to think of this game, Nyokin. But hey, at least we're starting things out on Sylphid.
Yep, we're going to have another standard map, and I'm really looking forward to see what DragOn has got for us, because if we think back to round of 24, remember La Abuela went for that DT drop, and we've seen a lot more DT openers. And with DragOn being a race picker playing Zerg versus Protoss, he may
Oh,
have
yeah.
another funky build like that, maybe not necessarily the DT drop, but really looking to see if he has something special planned for Gorynich.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Never know what to expect from race pickers, but when it comes to that, DragOn is certainly one of the best. So very, very adept at playing all kinds of different matchups. But we are going to get the chance to see his PVZ. But man, Gorynich, it's just this guy 2-0'd his group so dominantly. It's like we didn't really even get a chance to see what he was really capable of. So I got to get into the game, man. I'm in the lobby. You're in the lobby. Zero's in the lobby. And of course, a big thanks to everyone behind the scenes, Zero and the rest of the crew. I think it's !crew in chat that shows you all the other people that were helping to make BSL a really incredible tournament. So big thanks to all of you guys for tuning in. We already have 215 of you all here watching the round of 16. So get out there, spread the word. Thanks for watching. Got a whole lot more BSL coming up. So let's get into our second best of 3. This is going to be DragOn versus Gorynich on Sylphid coming up next. All right, here we are. The map is Sylphid, and in the bottom left, as finally, I believe, our black Zerg player. It's either black or dark gray. I don't know. I can't tell, but it looks insane. Amazing. This is our Russian Zerg player, Gorynich.
In the bottom right, I think he's the sole Canadian left in the tournament. It is DragOn.
Let me double check these double quotes facts. No, Crossy is Canadian.
Oh yeah, Crossy is also Canadian. So we got 2 Canadians left. Tie 2. I don't know if he's the sole American. Oh no, not the sole American.
JU.
I know JU is still left. So maybe we've got 2 American players left. But yeah, hope of Canada flowing through DragOn. And this time we have a Forge expand, which is a bit unusual, at least for the round of 24 and what we've seen in BSL, because most of the games have been gateway expands.
Yeah, that's actually true. I think a lot of people are starting to gateway expand so that they can be proactive, get out there. But especially when you get up to round of 16, you're starting to play just really good players. So I don't know. I always like the safety that the cannon expand gives you. There's always the off chance that it lets you cannon rush, but nobody really cannon rushes anymore. So not really.
Yep, and Gorynich is going for a standard opener. This was, I think, an overpool. And DragOn, there's the Forge. He is just going to play pretty standard. Now, with DragOn being Canadian and Gorynich being European, I know that I don't hit Europeans often on the ladder, so this might just be I don't play versus this guy often. I'm just going to go with my safe opener going for the Forge, or maybe this is just how DragOn usually plays. When I play DragOn is pretty standard, and it's not shocking to me that he's going for the Forge. Now this drone versus probe, got a bit of damage done with that drone.
Yeah, a little bit done. Probes or drone rather, at least, is going to be annoying. Anytime I see this as Yeah, as a Protoss player, you have to start thinking, wait a second, why is this drone here? Is he trying to pre-damage my buildings because he has an all-in following this up? But of course, you know, the probe is alive and well on the other side, making sure that, nope, there's not a crazy amount of Zerglings coming out or anything like that.
Yep, Gorynich has only built 2 Lings. He's going to try and push it back. We'll have to see if he's going to build any more Lings to try and forcefully take it out. But so far, so good. Probe's still alive, and Gorynich is going to take top left. He is going to go for a somewhat of a little bit delayed gas. Now, what does he want to do with this? This is not the standard 235 gas into lair. This may be a Hydra opener if he can push the probe out. Oh, it's getting dangerously low.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, you can put down your Hydrogen just whenever, but you really want to kill this probe first. Maybe you can start it at your natural, but, you know, the natural's not even done, so you can't really even do that. So we'll see if he does throw down that Hydrogen almost immediately. Yeah, double hatcheries on the way, so waiting. Natural pops, and the probe is still pretty healthy. Great control here. DragOn keeping this alive forever.
Yep, meanwhile, he is just playing. Oh, is that a drone for hydrogen? I thought it would be. And he's shown it, so this could be a fake. It could be. He may commit to it, because if you're going to show it, the other player is probably going to think it's a fake. So if you just commit for it, it may catch DragOn off guard.
Yeah, definitely going to see it. I mean, it's been seen a lot. Now, he needs to wait for it to complete. Now, maybe once you push the probe out of range, you cancel and remake, and then they're off on their timing. Then you cancel it at the end. No, that's a little bit too much big brain play. But yeah, it's +1 on the. Wait, no, he's not getting +1. Just gonna go ahead and get the range upgrade.
Yep, range has started. And how many Hydras? Oh, is the probe finally gonna get taken out? No, one more hit is all it needed. So the probe's still alive, and he just needs to evaluate how many Hydras is it going to be. Lings pop out at the natural. He really wants to get this probe now. And now that I've seen a couple more Lings, this may tip me off that this is going to be a bust. But so far, there's no Hydras being produced anywhere, even a lair morphing. So this was just a bait so far is what it looks like. Or maybe he's going to build 5-6 Hydras to try and range the gateway. But the cannon is so close. I'm not too sure how much damage just a few Hydras can actually get done.
I mean, every time I see a Protoss player trying to play the game with only one cannon, I'm just like, look, you deserve to have that killed and you busted. But at the same time, you know, we've got a second cannon coming through. DragOn's starting to kind of piece things together and say, oh, might need a few more. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see like a third cannon come in here in just a second.
Yep, there is the third cannon, and DragOn must think that this is going to be a committed Hydra, or at least probably maybe a control group, because he went straight Citadel. There's no Stargate, and he does have a second gateway up. He's going to pump out a decent amount of Zealots pretty quickly. Forge has not been spinning this whole time, so he's really relying on just getting out a lot of Zealots to deal with this. And Gorynich is going to attack with the first few Hydras, but this is pretty much what I was saying, is he's got range, but that cannon is so tight up against the gateway and Forge.
Gosh, that's so stupid. The diagonals and the way that all works, like I cannot calculate that. That is the 4D chess right there. Like, how does it reach from one position but not the other? Because right now you've got range, you can hit the gateway, but if you can only do that with one Hydra, nobody cares.
Yeah, it's just going to take an eternity to take it out. Meanwhile, DragOn, he's got 7 Zealots. His speed has kicked in. He can move out right now. I guess he's waiting for a little bit more because he still doesn't know whether there's more Hydra sitting behind this or what this is. But we see that Gorynich is just playing pretty standard. He's got Spire halfway done. He's got something set up at his third base. Also, here comes DragOn now moving out 8 Zealots, and Gorynich just got to scramble to get up defense, putting up 3 Sunkens at top left.
Yeah, I don't blame him. All of a sudden, these Zealots are so scary. They pop out and together with cannons take out like 3 Hydras. Now there's only like 1 or 2 left. Obviously, there's like 4 or 5 here, and maybe the Zealots can run through and get some damage done. But you really want to use them cost effectively. And right now, there's 2 Sunkens about to finish at the third.
And even though DragOn doesn't see it just yet, this is a lot of damage done. When he comes up here and sees there's no fifth hatch and there's 3 Sunkens, he's going to know that even though the Zealots haven't killed anything, they've done a lot of damage so far, forcing 2 drones to be used in Sunkens that he doesn't want. And Gorynich, he knows that these Zealots came out extremely fast, and because of that, he's building more mutas. And what does DragOn have? Oh, he's got cannons already morphing in his main and natural.
Yeah, already on top of things, man. DragOn, oh, I mean, this is one of the reasons he was preceded. He did so well. And now running in with like 1 or 2 control groups of Zealots, trying to focus everything down. The Sim City, though, is actually fantastic. A lot of the Zealots just actually running around, not actually being used very effectively at all. The Sunken is still alive, tanking forever. The Mutas helping take these Zealots out. An incredible amount of Zealots go down, but there are 2 running into the natural expansion. Let's see if, or the main rather, see if they can actually get some drone kills. 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4. Yep. Just a handful of drone kills from that, and in the end, all those Zealots die. That is a big investment from DragOn.
Big investment, but because we don't have 5 hatches up and we spent so much resources on these Sunkens, and then also building mutas, which are going to get pretty much denied. Well, maybe not. The cannons are not up just yet. Bit of counter damage being put on. And meanwhile, DragOn sending out a counterattack with these Zealots. Gorynich did not see it. If we look at the natural, there's no defense there.
No, I mean, what are you gonna do? Wow, this is such a kind of a dilemma. It's like, I mean, Zealots are good. They're especially good when they're in really high numbers. But man, I mean, Gorynich just perfectly defeated. He whacks on, whacks off that defense just effortlessly. And now, I mean, Muta's in the main, but there's already 3 cannons in the main Nexus.
Well, Gorynich is going to focus them down. There's no Archon that was morphed. He's dealing a lot of damage. Here comes the Templar. Does he have Storm? A beautiful Storm. Not as much as you're possibly going to do versus Mutas, but there's no anti-air. He skipped the Stargate, and now he's getting punished really hard. Gorynich was down 20 workers. He's all of a sudden closed the gap. He's going to be up in workers any moment now.
I love that we can tell that now, but look at this Muta control. Whoa, gotta avoid the Archon, and he does. Is he gonna be able to snipe that High Templar? He gets it, and gets another one. Storms weaken all of the Mutas, but hey, that is bonus zone. He's gonna get back into the mineral line for more probe kills.
Yeah, the SimCity really hurting DragOn at this point, and you can see that he wants to counterattack with these Zealots, but Hydras are already ready. And Gorynich, I thought he was in deep trouble, but he's brought it back, and these Mutas are dealing way too much damage. He still has 5, which is the sweet spot to one-shot probes. It's a thing of beauty.
Well, yeah, sure, we'll call it that. Also, hashtag planned. Look at him micro around the Archon. Whoa, okay, takes 1 hit. That is going to all but do it for this stack of Mutas, but they're still going back at it again.
We have 23 probes for DragOn. His econ has been decimated, and he's basically all in because he's not building any more probes at this point. Where are his units? Okay, they're just sitting at the natural. I thought he must be doing something with them, but they're just sitting there. He's morphing another Archon. He may kind of be obligated to just all in with maybe 1 more Templar and try and go for a mass Zealot Archon push.
Waiting for it. Okay, we're biding our time right now. All right. One of the big characteristics, at least that I was thinking about for Tai2's earlier matches, is that it was so hard for him to get a 4th base. And it seems like for Gorynich, you know, he's very well established on his 3, but also I'm still waiting to see kind of what the next step is going to be. He's being very vigilant out on the map with Mutas, trying to figure out, okay, when is his window to get that expo going?
Yeah, he's probably not going to take it just yet, but after he gets lurkers set up, or after this incoming attack that DragOn's sending out, he may try and take another base. And this is a scary army. He does have +1, but Hydras are going to have +1 kicking in also right now. So big power spike for Gorynich. And here comes the lurker morph. This might be an anti-timing if DragOn just goes right now.
Waiting for it. Here we go. The Mutas, are they going to snipe it off? Archon's getting a couple of hits here, but these Mutas, they've got to snipe these High Templar.
BSL.
Only one Muta left, and that is going to get taken out. How many High Templar do we have left? 1 and 2, each with a couple of storms.
Oh, don't burrow all together. Okay, thank you. He didn't clump them up. That could have been a disaster because there's 4 storms there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could have been absolutely horrendous. Now trying to snipe this High Templar, moving through the storm, Dirged and Monsoon right there. The Hydras stay alive, the High Templar does not. Now there's only one left. It does have a couple of storms, but might not be enough.
He saw the lurkers. He's going to turn around for now. And DragOn has recovered pretty nicely, slowly building up his probe count. He's still got a 10 supply lead. That's going to be a great position for Gorynich. Meanwhile, he's got his drone set up at the mineral only. There goes that 4th base, so he's not going to have Type 2 struggles. And I see a drone positioning to set up the Queen's Nest in the main. So everything pretty much perfect from Gorynich's side. And what does DragOn want to do? He's going to try and stall the game out, which is what I think he should probably try and do. But he's starting to build Dragoons, and he's got observers coming. So he may be trying to go for that big +2 timing.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I guess I can see that. It's a little bit of a ways off, and it's going to happen after Gorynich gets his big next upgrade swell. Middle only is coming up for Gorynich, so I guess he'll be holding on to that, but does definitely need some more gas at somewhere in his future. But I love this spread of units here by Gorynich. Just so big and wide and deep. He's got such a huge lurker contain, well, not contain, but just like the lurker line. This looks like something a Terran would do with siege tanks.
Yeah, and lurkers are probably equally as deadly as siege tanks. So DragOn for now, he's just going to posture around with his sizable army. And if he's just going to sit around like this, I think he should try and take a 3rd base. I'm a bit surprised Gorynich is not more aggro after killing so many probes with those mutas, but I don't mind this play since he's got his hive coming up. He's even got triple evolution chamber, so his upgrades are pretty crazy. Meanwhile, DragOn, his army is huge, and with these Templars out, he's banking up a lot of energy, but there's no way he can bust through these lurkers. How many lurkers are there? It's like 15 lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, when you try to break through one point, I mean, also there's all the other units making it even more difficult. So they try to move forward, try to snipe the High Templar. He gets one. He's going to get a Dragoon there as a bonus before he backs away, man. Oh, these High Templar snipes. So precision here. Gorynich, somebody said he was using that Russian UMS micro, and I'm like, yeah, that's finally coming in clutch. It's not that he's just like an actually sick Gosu player, but man, Gorynich just has everything on lock on his side of the map. And man, DragOn can't buy a base.
Well, he's got pylons setting up at bottom left. Looks like that's what he wants to take. It's a mineral only, so I don't know if he should take that. Okay, now he's sending the probe down to this high ground. I like this a little bit better, but look how close that is to the main of Zerg. If Zerg gets drops, that's instant death for this base. But if you can get it up and running and get that mineral only, it will be 4 base Protoss, which is a very, very good spot for Protoss, but still a questionable.
Yeah.
If he wants to take that. More lurkers being morphed. This is just crazy amounts.
How many lurkers do you need? Like, when is too many?
There's never too many weapons.
Okay, well, let's find out. Great first storm on that big first clump of Hydras at the front, but once again, the storms are a little bit sparse. We've got one more left on that High Templar. We've got one more High Templar over here, and he has 2 storms saved up, 200 energy there. But still, absolutely anybody's game. Both players starting to get their next few bases up. The game continues, Nyoka. This is actually such a sick way to start off this best of 3.
Yeah, and I like what DragOn's doing. He's managing his probes really well. You see he's got 44 probes. So that means that this army that's almost maxed is almost an entirely, like, his army is so huge. It's going to have 155 supply if there's ever an engagement. But Gorynich is keeping his supply relatively low also. Here we go. Finally going to try and engage this. I don't know about this.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know about brute forcing it. So many lurkers, so spread. much. Wow, he's not even he's not using the Zealots in the back. He's got a control group of Zealots that just are standing still, and even through all the storms, the Lings, the Lurkers prevail. And I think Gorynich is just gonna roll this over, even in spite of the storms. The Zerglings are getting stormed to death. All right, never mind.
So many Lurkers though. They did so much work, and honestly, that was not a bad idea from DragOn because Hive had just finished. It was before Crackling kicked in. So if he was able to push through, it would have been a really good moment to just try and seal the deal, or at least try and take out this 4th base while he's getting up his 3rd base, but didn't work out for him. And now his army has really been reset. Supplies are even 112 to 108. And now that Hive has kicked in and all the macro hatches has kicked in, Gorynich probably going to explode in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw like SPX in the last game with the Terran player was just macroing like a monster. And I think we're going to see Gorynich do that here as well. I mean, both players with basically even supply after that huge trade, but I don't think it's going to stay that way for long, especially not now that Gorynich has seen that DragOn is expanding right next to his main, like right next to his main. That's like basically the most dangerous place on the map to expand against Gorynich.
Yeah, and Defilers, Consummate just finished. Drops are being upgraded. As soon as that happens, he's just going to start sending a couple Overlords down to bottom left. Even just 2 Lurkers and 1 Defiler will probably be able to take out the base. And then while that chaos is going on, he's probably going to attack somewhere else and just try and draw DragOn out of position. And we see DragOn trying to take this bottom left base, but like you said, it's just going to be so hard to defend it. But supplies are even. DragOn is still not out of it, but he's got to get this base up and running because main is mined out, and that is slowly dwindling.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, there is a timer, as there is on all Brood War games. Not only the clock ticking up, but the minerals ticking down. Nice snipe on that Observer. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult to push through these Lurkers. The spread on these Lurkers, just disgusting. He must have like 30 Lurkers here. I'm trying to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 25 Lurkers. That's a pretty accurate number, but oh my god.
That's an absurd amount of Lurkers, and I'm just trying to find where we're going to have a drop. We see a few Lings being set up on the left side. I don't see a Defiler anywhere, but if you can just get a Defiler, what do we have for defense? We've got 1 Templar with 1 Storm. Oh, DTs are making their way across the map.
I'm waiting. I mean, if there's anything that could make that happen, that would be it. A little bit of Zerg getting kind of taken out randomly out there on the map, but a good job from DragOn to be really proactive and make sure that Gorynich doesn't get like any just bases for free. Although let's see these DTs, man, single-handedly defending this base right next to Gorynich's.
Yeah, that was a pretty crucial moment. If he lost that base, it would probably be game over because Gorynich has finally taken a supply lead, but DragOn did defend top middle, didn't let Gorynich get it, but these Zerg units, they're at 2-2 now, and this army comp is not the greatest for DragOn. It's almost pure Zealot, really, versus Massling Lurker.
Yep, ooh, it's not a good day to be a Zealot, I'll tell you that much. Your life is, I mean, maybe for ire, but not for much else. Oh, look at this, stray High Templar getting picked off in the middle of the map. Army gonna try to come down and save it. I don't know if that's gonna work out. Yes! Wow, the sickest save there in the middle of the map. But I was waiting to see if that was gonna go pear-shaped, but nope. Man, this game is so hype. I mean, DragOn's at 160 supply. Gorynich not far behind. Both players desperately trying to secure themselves another base. They're expanding right next to each other. Oh man, this is so epic.
Yeah, DragOn needs to get his army across to the bottom left because all these Lings and Lurkers are setting on that somewhat high ground base in the center. And I'm just so worried that at any moment Gorynich is just going to send 10 Lurkers with Dark Swarm and a few Lings and just take out this base. But for now, he hasn't done it. He's just content with just sitting with these Lings and Lurkers. He knows that DragOn's gonna be gas starved pretty soon if we check the main and natural gas.
Yeah.
They're basically completed in 1 gas Protoss. You can't win just building only Zealots versus Zerg.
You can try. It's not going to work out very well. So we're starting to see the first little bit of our players. Oh, sick Plague there. Catches so many Zealots. Going to really soften them up. And so we're running them into Lurkers. That's going to tenderize them quite nicely. Another Plague. We're looking for it. You can see that Defiler's positioned very far forward. Is he going to get it? Dark Storm instead. Nice Storm. Actually catches the Defiler. Takes it out.
I can't believe he got the Defiler, so that's a nice pickoff for him. And meanwhile, Dragon's taking mid-right. He's got Zealots set up. He's got 2 Templars there. If he can get these cannons up, he'll be on 5 base. Zealots standing in the front. Gotta hold the line, though. Can't let these Lings up.
Yeah, if the Lings can get on top of anything in the back, especially those juicy High Templars, that would just be, such a tragedy. Tries to storm another Defiler. Gets actually another Defiler. Wow, these storms are going really well. Another Swarm. Try to just desperately hang on here. The Zerglings, though, they're running into Archons now. This is not going to be enough. Another Storm, another Defiler down!
Yeah, but we've got action on the right side of the map. This Nexus is going to get killed. Lurkers without any vision, able to take out the Zealots and the Templars. Meanwhile, Lings and Lurkers still trying to engage on the left side. Dragon must hold this base.
Yep, absolutely not a question. He loses one, so he's got to hold the other. The DTs are really worth their weight in gold. There's no detection anymore. So these DTs actually get killed by their own Storm.
Yeah, the Storms have been killing a lot of Lings, though, but we finally see the chink in Dragon's armor because Gorynich, was up 30 supply a moment ago. Dragon closing the gap, but it's just relentless Ling, Lurker, Defiler attack at the left side. And it's just a matter of time now. Gorynich is taking top middle. He's got so many hatches, 4 macro hatches at top left. He's at like 11 hatches at this point.
Yeah, his ability to build units is just insane. This is the Swarm, quite literally. There was a while where it was so even, so close, and then that move where Gorynich attacked the 7 o'clock base while also killing off the 3 o'clock base that Dragon was able to take. Just impeccable. And now there's almost no way for Dragon to try to retake that base. It's way too far away, and he has to use all of his units, all of his resources to save the 7 o'clock base he's got up.
Yeah, he's basically just got to try trade as cost effectively as possible, but being on 1 gas, that's going to be so difficult. And the Lings just trading themselves for Templars, that's all he needs to do. As long as Dragon doesn't get up into that super army mass Archon with mass Storm behind it, Gorynich is just in a prime position to take this game. And now that top middle is up and running with the Nidus, I think this is the beginning of the end for Mr. Dragon. A big Plague, and now all the Zealots just running into death on those
Yeah, that's an anti-timing if I've ever seen one. It's like, get Plagued, run into Lurker Spines. Yeah, that's going to be difficult to do. Another kind of, not remax, but more Zealots pouring in here for Dragon. And he might lead with the healthy ones, follow with the weak ones, try to get through, because he does have quite a few High Templar here that have survived. But each one of them is just barely on 1 Storm, so I gotta be so careful here. Oh no, moving forward, he's gonna get kind of caught out here by all these Link Storms, take out most of them. Another Storm taking out a Defiler behind it, and Defiler killing Storms. No joke, the Protoss army moves through, but still getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and now, Lurkers, they're all on siege, needs to drop them down. And no, not actually choosing to burrow almost any of those Lurkers, now moving them forward through the Storm. But this is just gonna be Dragon bleeding out little by little.
There's just nowhere he can go. Everywhere he goes, there's Lurkers everywhere, and they're just dealing ridiculous amounts of damage combined with Plague, with 11 hatch production Lings just reinforcing. He's going to lose his entire army, and these are all the key units, all the Templars, all the Archons. That's going to be it.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see kind of the death throes of the Protoss player. Its body is dead, but its brain is still alive. Or maybe its brain is dead, but its body is still... I don't know which one is. But he's only half there because the other half is dead. So, once again, Zergling's coming through, and that's going to do it. GG. Dragon taps out Gorynich, able to take it.
Yeah, that was really nicely done from Gorynich. Those Zealots in the beginning, did a lot of damage. I thought for sure that DragOn is just going to start running away with it, taking a third base, but nice recovery from Gorynich. How many probe kills did those mutas have? I wish we had that StarCraft 2 overlay where it has like the unit kill count, because that saved Gorynich the game. He got like 30 probes.
Insane. And like if you lose those mutas, like how are you going to take care of the High Templar? He also, besides just taking out drones, was able to snipe so many High Templar. Not even only with mutas, he used Hydras moving through storms to make it happen. Oh, just really good control. Gorynich taking out that 3 o'clock base while he was also defending and attacking, like just doing everything all at the same time.
Yeah, I totally forgot about how many Templars he killed. Remember, he didn't have an Archon, so he was just storming, which means that they're just going to get off one storm and die. So he killed like 30 probes, like 8 Templars. It's ridiculous how much damage those mutas dealt.
Yeah, I don't even understand. Like, you don't see mutas versus Protoss like almost ever. And then he busted out and it's like, oh my god, this is so good. And I guess, you know, obviously when your opponent doesn't have any Corsairs to like deal with them, it's like, yeah, this is going to be a pretty good game. But whew, well, speaking of good games, we've got game number 2 coming up. It's going to be on Gladiator, so a very large map for this to transpire on. I don't know exactly what to expect here, but it's, I think, pretty evident that both players are very skilled, but Gorynich only has to win one more game to move on.
Yep, so DragOn's down 0-1. Let's see if he can pull an SPX and at least take one game back and get into a game 3. So let's get into game 2 Gladiator.
There we go. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, here we are in the upper left-hand corner of the map in what is, for me, the black Zerg player. This is red on the stream, though, so I guess I didn't set my color palette quite the right way. But anyway, that Zerg player, there we go, is going to be Gorynich.
In the bottom right, down 0-1. Trying to even up the score, it is DragOn. I gotta say, Rapid, this black or dark gray, at least on Zerg, I don't like it. The gray is so dark, it's hard to even tell the gray from the creep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna lose units, and I already do that way too often. Yeah, it does. It looks way better on Protoss. I'll just tell you that much. But yeah, I'm still trying to get used to it. How many colors did they add?
They added a lot.
Yeah, is there a list? Can somebody like link that somewhere? I gotta find out. I gotta try playing on all these new wacky colors. It's almost like they added new races to the game. Because, you know, like, I'm a big believer in like the value of some colors like over others. Some people are talking about, like, you know, cyan and how that gives you an advantage because it's the same color as minerals on the map. Or you know, if you're playing orange on a desert tile set, then that can be really hard to see.
Yeah, like, this just looks so dark on the creep. I can't imagine trying to pick out lurkers under Darkstorm as Terran, like trying to irradiate. I don't know with what color you would pick, but yeah, it's going to be really hard to do that with specific colors, maybe like a pale orange or something. But again, we've got DragOn bottom right going for Forge Expand. This time Gorynich is going to be a bit aggressive. This is a 9 pull, not an over pull, but luckily for DragOn, he's got cross spawns, and that's not ideal for Gorynich in this situation.
Yeah, that's important to point out. I think I just automatically expect every Protoss player in the world to go overpool, just because, you know, it's a safety dance. It's the safe build to go for. Unfortunately, sometimes your friends don't dance, and DragOn might be caught a little bit off guard with this. Still gonna get, you know, the same scout coming through, but he's gonna see 2 cannons already warping in.
Yeah, so perfect response from DragOn, and he sees that all the lings are being sent out, and that's at least gonna force DragOn to commit to these 2 cannons. He's not gonna be able to cancel one and get away with putting down a faster nexus, so it's gonna even out pretty well. And again, Gorynich, I don't see a gas coming up. This is probably going to be him taking, I would assume, either top middle or mid left, just like he did last game, and go into probably the same style we saw on Silphid.
Or at least something similar. I mean, I guess kind of the subtle nuances is that I guess they are still pretty far away from each other. But after you open, I think it was 9 full speed, if I'm not mistaken, right? No, he did not get that. Okay, well, a little bit mistaken there. The Zerglings come out, the Zerglings go back. You can't explain that, but well, I guess you can. There's 2 cannons, so there you go. There's your explanation.
Well, we do have the hatchery being put down at the minnow only, and if we think back to last game, the amount of times Dragon sent his probe outside of the main was 0. So he doesn't know where this third hatch is being placed. And if he doesn't realize that this is a close third hatch, he might be in a bit of trouble, because I think now this is going to be a committed Hydra play, especially since these cannons are not in that good diagonal position we saw in Silphid.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, those are actually pretty vulnerable.
Yeah, I think he must see this hatchery. Okay, this is a big scout. He's going to see that the hatchery is here. And, oh, well, maybe it's not, because Gorynich, well, I thought he was going to go Hydra. He actually just goes straight lair.
Yeah, okay, lair just now started on the way. The probe is still out there, so, you know, there's no Zerglings back there trying to keep it away. Just the one chasing it. Now a few more will come in. If he can kill off this probe with just 4 probes or 4 Zerglings, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, well, even if he doesn't get the probe, he at least has these 2 lings on hold position at the natural, which I love. And that's going to deny the Protoss from getting into the main. And this time we've gotten a Stargate out of Dragon. I don't know how he knows that this is going to be just straight lair as opposed to Hydra, because this, to me, looks like it would be Hydras, but a good read from him so far. And these drones are kind of bugging out. Like, every time I check the natural, they're bouncing off of these lings, but now they finally drilled through them.
Okay, finally. I was kind of wondering what was going on there too. So it's not going to be the Hydras that we were expecting. I was actually really looking forward to that, because every once in a while you'll see these sim cities that are randomly just bad for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's the map, maybe it's the spawn location, whatever it is. And that player can kind of see that and do the trigonometry calculation in his head. I'm like, wait, I can bust that. So it's cool to see sometimes, but no, not this time. Dragon, although does get the perfect read, so the second perfect read. I'm the first one, but he does analyze the situation correctly, and so it'll be interesting to see kind of how deep Gorynich goes down this rabbit hole, because I don't know if there's a whole lot of future at the end of it.
And you can see that Dragon's a little bit worried about Hydras, because he's putting up a 3rd cannon. Corsair's gonna get in here and see that there's nothing unusual going on. It is just standard 5 hatch. Spire's about to finish. He's trying to find any overlords he can now that he knows that the Spire isn't done. But somehow the overlord escapes death for now. And behind this, we do have Dragon going for fast speed, which is something we haven't seen lately. A lot of times we're just seeing straight DT, but he's decided that he wants to get some aggression onto the Zerg player.
Yeah, a Protoss player being aggressive. It's not something I see every day. Well, he's going to have those +1 speed lots here in just a few seconds. 3 more hatcheries being added. So this is 6 hatch, right?
Is it 6 hatch?
Yeah.
Oh, it is 6 hatch. So he's going to have tons of production. I think he's in a phenomenal position. This is Gladiator, where when Dragon tries to attack, he's going to be attacking uphill all the time. And Hydra's just going to be able to range you from the high ground. I don't really see this backfiring versus Gorynich. I love this play, and Dragon going into 4-gate. This is really something we don't see very often. These 5-gate even, so he's really put on a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, okay, is this scouted? Does Gorynich know anything about this? That Overlord was the only thing that I think maybe could have helped him out, but with the patrolling Corsairs, I don't know how Gorynich is going to kind of get aware of this. Obviously, there are those few Zealots. They're running in right now. They're going to see, wait a second, there's 2 hatcheries. Their mission log only just says kill the hatchery. And they walk up, they see 2, and I'm just like, wait, which hatchery do we kill? I don't know. One of them, pick one, anyone. You can do it. Well, actually, no, you can't. You have to run away now.
Yeah, the Sim City is pretty nice. The drones can just drill and deny access onto the sunk. And then again, we've got those hydras on the high ground. They can even just range over the hatchery. This zealot pressure really is not going to work. There's just a lot of hydras out. But DragOn, if he just continues to pump out a 6 gate, this may catch Gorynich off guard with how much production DragOn is going to have. He's up 25 supplies, so this is great for him. Oh, Lurker's being upgraded for Gorynich, so he is just going to transition into that defensive style that we just saw.
Wow. I mean, I would say that there's probably a few steps before we get there, right? So first we have to play the song and dance with speed, with the zealot speed in +1. They're running back and forth, but I mean, Gorynich seems pretty airtight, right? There is this DT trying to make his way in on the at the 9 o'clock location, but I don't know how he's gonna make it through.
Yeah, so far, both players are just gonna have to back off for now. They both just got too big of an army, and DragOn has 3 Templars out. They're banking a lot of energy. By the time Gorynich gets across the map, we may have 6 Storms available. And he's got Robo coming in, that's almost done. And he is transitioning into that, again, big +2 timing with Goons.
Yeah, I'm just saying what we're all thinking. Did Gorynich forget +1 weapons? He doesn't seem to have it.
Yeah, he just started it, so a big misfire right there. Remember last game he matched the +1 of the Protoss player because Protoss delayed +1. So this is a huge power spike lost for Gorynich, and DragOn, I don't know what has made him feel confident, but he's felt confident to take this 3rd base.
Yeah, 3rd's coming up, and for DragOn, I mean, that is a bold statement. It's also just because he has those zealots out there on the front lines, watching, looking, and seeing that there is so much Zerg out there for Gorynich. I mean, the supply disadvantage doesn't really tell the whole story because Gorynich is just in a very strong spot right now. And I will say he's going to be even stronger once he finishes +1 and range, which will be finished up very soon here for the Hydras, and then 1-1 for ground as well. Man, Gorynich is just powering up.
Yep, and DragOn sent a couple zealots to mid-left and saw that there are lurkers set up. He knows what Gorynich is going for. It is, again, going to be the defensive style. So I love how fast he's taking this 3rd base. At 10:30, 3rd base is pretty damn quick. A lot of times you're seeing Protoss go on to 8 gate, but only 6 gate this time for DragOn. And look at the supply. He's up 40 supply. He's got the upgrade lead. He's got +2 rapid. It's just kicking in now. So +2 versus +0. His units are going to just be decimating these Hydras.
That is right. They will be able to reduce their population by 10, Nyoken. Or is it by 1/10 or 2 1/10? I don't know. No, there lots of them will die. Yes, we'll see. But I mean, you just have to strike while the iron is hot, as they say. Not sure why they say that, but he's not doing anything, so I don't even know if this timing is really going to matter at all.
He should go because +1 hasn't kicked in for the Hydras just yet. His army is massive. 153 to 115. 3rd base is up and running. I don't see any more gates coming in. I don't see a second forge. So if he wants to do something, he should go right now. But he's not scaling really into the late game just yet without those super crucial upgrades or more gates coming in or more econ. He's got to do something right now because this is really Gorynich being in his most vulnerable position. He's got Hive now just about to finish.
Oof. Yeah, and once this Hive gets up, we're just going to see another sort of repeat of game 1. Plagues, swarms everywhere. Like, what are you going to do at that point? And we are starting to see these upgrades finish up. He's got +1 range. He's got +1 for ranged, and then also +1 range for these Hydras. So a lot of crucial upgrades, and 1-1 for ground units just about to finish up here for Gorynich. He is if he can hit these upgrades right before DragOn attacks. Oh my goodness, this is potentially just going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, and this Ling attack just brought Dragon out of position, or at least sending Dragon back across. No, here he goes. Now he's going to attack, and now he's going to be attacking into a big lurker field. But remember, he has so many Templars that have been banking energy. He's almost got triple storm on them. Here he goes. Oh, the observer.
All right. Wait, did he lose the observer?
No, he's just not sending it with the army. And meanwhile, Gorynich attacking mid-right, trying to make it chaotic.
This is almost exactly the same way that he killed that almost exactly the same base in the last game. You try to attack or defend this big army and then run in and try to kill a sniper base behind it. But man, amazing storms on top of even clumped lurkers on the high ground. Pizza wedges are not quite as invincible as they usually are when you put sieged units on them, Nyoken.
Yeah, and these storms are amazing, just blanketing all the lurkers, gets a big hit onto the Hydras, and he's just pushing his way through. Hard to storm all these units, though, but he's got tons of Templar just sitting there just blasting away these Hydras. Okay, I think he's done it, because look at the supply now just plummeting for Gorynich.
Yeah, and skyrocketing for Dragon at the same exact time as his macro continues to impress. Now, I mean, the defensive abilities of a Zergon Hive, man, you can just swarm and it's good enough. Ooh, one High Templar dies for free at the front there, so that's less than ideal. And still this base at the 9 o'clock is working for Gorynich. You know, he's still mining off of 3, maybe almost 4 or 5 bases now, if he's able to get that 12 o'clock base up.
Yeah, if he can stabilize, he's still in a fantastic position. He's got top middle building, mid right has gone up. He's got Hive. He should have Crackling done by now. If he can just get a Defiler out with Dark Swarm, the majority of the army from Dragon is Dragoons. He would really, oh my, as I say that, I just realized we have 7 Templars. We can just storm forever.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's going to be like the weather in Taiwan right now, where they're just doing an event over there, and it is storming all over the place, just like Dragon. On top of this high ground, he has completely breached this. Another amazing storm. These Hydras are trying to get in on top of the High Templar. The High Templar have already done their duty. They have cast all their storms. Another huge one on a bunch of clumped up lurkers. But hey, don't overextend here. These are cracklings. They kill everything all the time forever. And they're dodging out these storms. I think he's about out of storm energy, so the crackling's still going to trade pretty effectively. There's so many more on the way.
Yeah, and Dragon did a big Templar cycle. If this army gets wiped, he's not going to be able to reinforce that quickly. So he's got to be a little bit careful, but the supplies tell a different story, getting doubled in supply, and mid-right has been found by Dragon. He's probably going to send a DT or something over there to kill it pretty soon. And now he's able to sync up these Zealots and Templars, and the third base is going to be compromised, but really that's not a very important base now with it being mined out.
Yeah, I think we are really going to see this be kind of Dragon flexing a little bit on this inner 12 o'clock base. I mean, so many storms. Look at all the High Templar. And I thought there was a moment where maybe Gorynich can come in and take it out, but nah, he tried and failed, and now this base is going to go down. He's expanded successfully on the other side of the map, but there's no drones there to make use of that base. And Dragon already sending a bunch of Zealots and Archons up there to take it out.
Yeah, he's got his Nidus coming up, but he doesn't have any units. There's nothing really to go through it, and Dragon's going to pick off the Nidus. Oh, no, he's not. But I don't think it matters. We just don't have any units to actually save top right. And with this base going down, that's probably going to be all of Gorynich's hopes to salvage this game, because you can't fight with just pure Sunkens. Dragon will just take the whole map if you do that.
Yeah, I think Dragon is just waiting to pull the trigger on taking the whole map. Or no, yeah, Dragon is. And Gorynich, I don't think that he really has a lot of recourse. Now coming in with a bunch of Zerglings, but Storm on top of them. We're seeing a little bit of a Storm on the High Templar. Another one goes out, Lurkers coming in, burrowing down, Observers in the air, Storms on the ground, and Lurkers go down. And oh man, I don't think Gorynich has too much gas left in the tank, Nyoken.
No, he's just slowly dwindling. His main's about to mine out. Nat is getting somewhat low, and Dragon's just continuously knocking on this base at top middle. And there's just not enough lurkers. We've got a decent amount of lings, but we need support behind them. But there's never going to be any support. Why? Because the storms are just endless. Dragon, oh, I guess he's going to give up on top middle. I guess he feels like he's not trading as well as possible. I don't think it matters, because he's taking the 5th base, plugging, taking top right pretty soon also.
Yeah, I mean, you can only imagine that's the next way. I love these consistent hordes of cracklings trying to come in and snipe off these High Templar. He's actually not doing a terrible job at it. He just doesn't have anything else. Like, he's starting to get up there and supply just little by little because maybe Dragon's army, I don't know, depreciated while it was out on the map. But we still don't really have a ton of lurkers, although, as I say that, 9 more being morphed.
Well, if Gorynich can hold through some miracle, he does have 2-2, which means his Lings are hitting extremely hard. It's only versus 3-1 on the Protoss army. And here he comes, more Lings to the back, but Mass Archon, Mass Storm, and now we finally broken through that lurker at the top of the ramp.
Well, I think this is about it. I think we're just kind of watching the death throes of Gorynich at this point. He's down almost over 100 supply, and there's nothing that's going to save this 12 o'clock base. And with that going down, it's one of the last few mining bases. He's trying to expand on the other side of the map, but these zealots are going to find that base over there. So can't hide anything from the watchful eyes of DragOn. And actually, I am so impressed that we were able to see such a polar opposite games 1 and 2.
Yeah, DragOn did a really good job this time, and I was a little worried because he had big power spikes and wasn't using it. I thought he was just going to let Gorynich get to Hive and have all those key upgrades kick in for free, but he hit right before they all kicked in, plowed through. We didn't have 25 lurkers this time, Rapid. We only had about 10. Maybe that was the difference maker.
Those huge siege lines, yeah, I don't know. I mean, cracklings are pretty good. They can kind of sweep the map a little bit and maybe even do a good job picking off Templar, but not like this. He's just losing a little bit too much. Cannot support the swarm. That's it. Gorynich taps out and DragOn takes game number 2.
Yes, we got some pretty epic games today. So far, both series are going to go to game 3. And I think our third map is going to... Oh, you know what map it is, Rapid. It's Power Bond.
That's right. Wouldn't be a game of BSL without Power Bond. I guess we didn't have it in our first series. I'm just excited to see it. It's become really kind of a staple of almost every single one of our round of 24 games. And now we're here in the round of 16. What do you know? It's coming back. So kind of an epic way to decide things. I really do love to see games that are very similar, but the opposite result happens because it's just like so clear that either player could win.
Yeah, Power Bond, probably my favorite map in the ladder pool. So this is going to be a good game.
Just waiting to
we're
get into it.
Waiting to get in the game.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You hope that
we get to see a long, drawn-out game, not something like a Hydra bust, right, and just ends. That would kind of be depressing because Power Bond is one of those maps where you can have an epic game like we just saw on Gladiator.
Yeah. Oh, those Gladiator games can actually get insane. If you like split map or something and you each have like 25 bases apiece, I'm just like, well, there's a problem with the economy going out here. But all right, game is up. I am loading in. Wait. Okay. Now I'm loading in to the game. And we should be able to get it underway. I would say, well, what do you think is the key difference between games 1 and 2? Is it just like the extra base timings, upgrade timings? Because it did feel like DragOn was maybe like had some opportunities to move out earlier on in the game and just didn't take them.
Just those mutas in game 1. Remember, DragOn didn't take any damage this time. And
I try to block that out of my memory.
Yeah, I want to block it out too because it was devastating. And you can see if DragOn goes unhindered, he'll take bases, he'll hit his power spike because that's what DragOn does. He's so solid. He doesn't miss his timings. He's really good at that. So Gorynich just got to be careful.
All right, well, here we go. The map is Power Bond. It's game number 3 of our second best of 3. And man, this is just turning out to be a pretty epic series. So let's get into it. I was just waiting for no larva to be morphed, but thankfully we do have that. But here we go in the upper left-hand corner of the map, Power Bond. This is our, once again, black Zerg player Gorynich.
And in the bottom middle, he's sporting, I'm going to say, the worst color I've seen.
Yeah, what is this color?
This is like, I want to say it's like puke green, but I don't know what it is.
I wish my puke looked this bad. That would be impressive. Like, my puke makes this puke look like horrendous. What on, like, this looks like a color that would be on the show Rugrats or something. Like, not in a flattering way either. I'm trying to think. Like, this is that egg salad sandwich you forget in your freezer. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, shout out to every other color that looks better than this.
I like this one in the chat, stinky green.
It looks like it smells. I'm having some sixth synesthesia right now. Well, that's Dragon. Hopefully he plays less stinky than his color.
Yeah, he's going for the same build. We got a Forge opener, and Gorynich, I'm a little surprised he's going for another 9-pull opener, especially on a 3-player map, because you know you're going to get scouted pretty quickly, and Dragon already sees what's going on, and we saw how well he dealt with the 9-pull last time. He just built 2 cannons, and that was it.
All right, so I've got the hexadecimal code for what this color is. I'm going to try to plug this into Google and see what it can tell me about it. I actually just want somebody to link me a list of the new colors that they put into Brood War. Somewhere that exists, and I'm not smart enough to find it. So I'll leave that up to our chat detectives while I try desperately to figure out what on earth is happening in the game.
Right, Forge is done. We're going to have 2 cannons come up again, and this time, where's the probe? Did it already die? Oh no, it's in the main.
Yeah, the probe is still. I can't tell. I pretend like one of the drones just like threw up somewhere, but actually it's a probe.
It was hidden under that overlord. I couldn't see it, but again, 6 lings moving out, and Dragon respecting the potential to just straight up die 2 lings. He's going to build 2 cannons, and again, Gorynich not going for a super fast gas. Where does he want to take that hatchery?
Well, it looks like the answer is close for the first one, and second for the... Okay, he's not going to expand like crazily close like he did in the last game. I guess that's not technically possible on Power Bond, but... Oh, okay, he is going to stop. Or is he?
Yeah, he's just going to take this mid base. This base has gas, unlike the close base on Gladiator.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always just curious why Zerg players would take a gas base over just a mineral-only base. Because remember last time on Gladiator, he had the potential to take the gas base at mid-left instead of the mineral-only first, yet he went for the mineral-only. So I'm curious what this actually means, and if the probe can scout it. We do have the gas done, and everything so far does look very similar to the Gladiator game.
Yeah. Okay, so far no information about the new colors that were added. I'm still working on that one. But back to the matter at hand, chasing out the probe, but not before it finds the exact location of this third base. So kind of mission accomplished there. And if he can save the probe after all of this, or even get it back into the main to see what's going on, that would just be bonus. Man, this probe does not die.
And this time, Gorynich has mixed it up because he is putting down that Hydra Den.
Oh boy.
We're going to have some aggressive play coming out from our Zerg player.
Yeah,
and
he actually extractor tricked it. Extractor tricked? Is that what it was? Just to get an extra drone out because he was supply blocked there for a second.
Ooh, well, something different from the Sylphid game. Remember, he got range first last time. This time, he's gotten speed, but he's building drones. So I don't know if this is going to be committed Hydra play again, or is this just going to be 6 and try and bust down the Forge?
Yeah, Cadenzi was explaining this to me, saying that basically if you go range first, it's impossible for the opponent to scout that you got an upgrade until it hits. But if you see speed hydras coming across the map, you know it's coming, right?
Yeah. Well, it looks like we've got some variation of the 973 because we've got 9 in the main, we've got 6 at the natural, so it's not exactly 973, but pretty close. And this is a very devastating build. A lot of Protoss players have a rough time dealing with this. And what's the goal for Zerg? If he can just get down the Forge, that's going to be a big win for him.
Yeah, so you're supposed to hit and at least be able to scrape the buildings off the front, which is still super annoying, especially if you can cancel that +1 upgrade. If you cancel +1, your Hydra's lifespan just goes up by 1,000,000 years.
Yeah, it's a huge pickoff because that 100 minerals, 100 gas could have gone into something else. And now not only are you denying it, you know for a fact that he didn't get his Citadel or something much faster than usual. So this is going to be really nice for Gorynich, assuming he can get it. Now behind this, checking all of his larvae, I still see more Hydras being produced.
I'm waiting. Yeah, so there's a version of this where it's kind of like fake and then you pull back and you drone. This is not that. He is definitely giggity going for it, but he's waiting for this range to finish, seconds away. Hydra's there biding their time. Any more being rallied across the map? Yeah, just a slow trickle, but here we go. Range is done, moving forward, trying to snipe that first cannon. There's another couple on the other side, but he gets one, and now he's gonna be able to power down that forge.
Yep, this forge is 100% dead, and we also have to remember if the forge goes down, that means no more cannons. So DragOn's desperately got to get up another forge in his main, and this is a committed Hydra play because he's continuing to build more Hydras. Second cannon gonna go down. Third cannon getting blasted.
Yeah, third cannon going down there. The Zealots are on top of everything, but keep in mind they do not have +1 because it was canceled on the forge.
Yep, they also don't have any speed right now. Another cannon does go down, and that's an explode gate also.
Yeah, another Zealot's going to squeeze out of this gateway before it goes down in the end, but still a lot of damage done. He's already killed 4 cannons, 1 pylon, or 5 cannons, something like that. Takes out the forge, takes out the gateway, and oh man, still, he can actually target down these cannons while they're morphing in if he wants to, but doesn't want to throw away any Hydras. He's not... Okay, he is reinforcing this with a bunch of Hydras. I literally can't see because it's a space platform tile set and half of the map is gray. So really making my life difficult here.
That was a bit risky for Gorynich to just dive in there. He only lost 1 Hydra. I thought for sure the Zealots were just going to surround him, but he does burst down 1 cannon, and DragOn's doing a good job to hold. He still has 3 gates in his main. He's got good production. Meanwhile, Gorynich now is finally transitioning out of it. He's got 5 hatch. He's got Lair going. But DragOn's going to see how committed this was. The Sayer saw the drone count at the natural and the third base. He knows that Gorynich spent a lot to do this. And the fact that all DragOn really had to do was build more cannons, he's still in it. He's definitely got a good chance to power and eventually bust through this Hydra contain.
Yeah, I mean, one of the classic mistakes that you can make for one of these things is that, or for a contain, is overstaying your welcome, right? You're like, I'm keeping this player in his base, and then 25 Zealots come out and roll over your Hydras. You're like, oh, I have no units anymore. But he actually just does have an insane amount of Hydras. They're pre-split, and they're far enough back to where you're going to be able to see the Zealots coming. So this is not super dangerous. They also do have speed, I believe, so they should be able to run away in time, even though these Zealots are pretty fast. Let's see, he's getting +1 behind us as well, so at least commit to this throughout the rest of the game.
Yep, DragOn's +1 is more than halfway done. This time Gorynich did not forget +1. He has it already started. He's got his Spire building. But DragOn has a lot of Zealots. He's got about 15 Zealots, 4 gate. His Templar Archive is done. He's going to have Storm coming in pretty soon. Everything looks pretty good for him, even fast robotics. So despite having to build so many cannons, DragOn really wants to get back out onto the map and punish this Zerg for committing so hard to the Hydras.
Yeah, I actually really like this. The robotics is going to make it all the more easy. Yeah, all the more easy to do that. Just now getting range, Storm +1, about to finish, super late +1. That's really going to help these Zealots feel the Hydras. And a couple of cheeky Dark Templar. You can feel it.
The first couple Templars have popped out. This is something DragOn does quite often, is just builds a few Templar early on to bank up that Storm energy so you can have multiple Storms in any engagement. Here come those 2 DTs that you were talking about. I don't think that this is going to be a Maelstrom Dark Archon morph, but it could be.
Yeah, I think maybe you try to get something done with the DTs, and then maybe if you can't, and it does go, oh, there it is!
Whoa! Storm Maelstrom.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, maybe he's trying to read, because this is what Gorynich has been really good at, is like, you know, building something to snipe the High Templar. Sometimes it's mutas, sometimes it's not, but nope, Maelstrom being researched, so there you go.
Well, unfortunately for DragOn, it seems that Gorynich is just going into mass lurkers, and really, lurkers don't really care about Maelstrom. If this was a muta switch, then this would have been amazing for DragOn. But it also might just been building this Dark Archon, because we see that he's not building any Corsairs at all, and we already saw how devastating the mutas are, so I don't mind him getting this Archon to kind of just balance out his army.
Yeah, DragOn had like one lonely Corsair for the longest time, and then just sort of straight up died. So I'm like, okay, well, that's the end of that. But yeah, I actually really like this. I mean, it's certainly something new. We never see it, and if it doesn't get scouted by the Zerg player, obviously it's going to really catch him off guard. And all it takes is a Maelstrom on like 15 Hydras, and you're just like, oh wow, I just have one less control group now. So see if he can catch Gorynich off guard. But you're right, this is all designed to punish the Zerg player for overstaying as well.
Well, Gorynich has done a good job to macro, because 130. Oh, great pick off on that first Templar. And he needs to pick off as many Templars as possible, because this army is massive.
Yeah, his army is actually gigantic. He's trying to hit and run from one side to the other. A beautiful storm there, revealing the Dark Archon to one or two of those Hydras that kind of stuck around. So that's going to make splitting maybe a little bit more easy to plan for.
Now, DragOn, he's expanding behind this, so he's not just... Oh, the Hydra's trying to pick off another Templar in the back. Might actually get it. Okay, he does get a Storm off at least. Does get a Dragoon. No, doesn't get a Dragoon, so lost a few Hydras, but it's okay, because Gorynich is doing a good job with his macro. 100 to 130, that's not bad.
Yeah, it always looks a little bit weird when you look at the supply and you're like, well, I know how to tell how even a game is by a number. No, you don't. It's always going to kind of look like this. Also, maybe a Zerg, you're just going to have to throw away a bunch of units, so you're going to consistently be remaxing, remaking. But let's see. One of the biggest things about game number one was that like Gorynich was able to like really snipe a bunch of probes. But here we go, pushing in. Do we have energy for Maelstrom? Yeah, we do. 150. Look at these storms. You don't even need Maelstrom. The storms are perfect.
Yeah, those were actually perfect. Killed so many Hydras and also blanketed a few of the lurkers. And now this lurker Hydra ball should get taken down. Oh, the Archon, it goes down. But I don't think that's a big deal.
I mean, yeah, everything else from the Zerg player went down too. So I'm going to say worth on that one. He went from a 30 supply advantage to now a 40 supply advantage. So we take those, I guess, whatever it takes there. But the more important thing is the double expansion from DragOn. So feeling very confident.
Yeah, you know you're feeling confident when you just flat out double expand without even really checking what Zerg is doing. The Ser got taken down a while ago, so he really doesn't know what Gorynich is doing, and he just flat out doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to take these two bases, you can have those two bases, and we're just going to have a slugfest. And now that he killed so many Hydras for really, what did he lose? Like maybe one Templar? He might just straight up kill him right now.
I guess, yeah. We'll see. Biding his time over and over again, and it's just like Brock's Onyx's bide. You do it too much, and at the end, you're going to return back. I think it's triple damage. So let's see how good these storms are. First one, fantastic. Zealots all over the static D. Storm in the back, catching some of the Hydras reinforcing, and damaging the lurkers. And plenty of observers all in position. Man, Gorynich just doesn't have the units. He's just getting stormed anytime he tries to get near here. A couple of Zerglings in the back. There's a Scourge coming forward, but they can't find the observers.
There's so many Dragoons, and there's not enough support for these lurkers. Just a handful of Lings. Not enough. There's maybe 20 goons here, and they're just hitting from a distance. And if this base goes down, it's going to be 2 hatches also. So that's a lot of production that Gorynich isn't going to have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in some sense, it's double quotes just Dragoons, and maybe they're not the greatest unit as the game goes on. But they are a unit, and Gorynich has only 60 supply of those. So at some point, he's going to have to find some way to deal with this. He's trying to morph a bunch of Sunkens here to just desperately hang on, but I don't know if that's his recipe for success.
Yeah, the Dragoons, they killed a hatchery, they killed a bunch of Lynx and Lurkers, and now they're gonna back off. Gorynich is in trouble. His Queen's Nest has just about finished. He needs to get Hive, though. Another engagement.
And Hive just seems like a million years away at this point.
Yeah, and he has to remember to click the Hive, because even though Queen's Nest is done, there's action happening in the center of the map, and every second that he forgets about it is just going to make Dragon's push even deadlier. And we look back into Dragon's base. He's got 12 gate. This guy's got insane production.
Yeah, he is absolutely just going to be able to churn these units out. He also has the economy on 3.5 bases to support this. Well, I guess just 3 bases for now. 4 bases, I can take it all back. These storms are just doing so much. I mean, he built that Dark Archon. I'm like, okay, nice. You don't even need that crutch. The storms have been fantastic. Gorynich taps out. Dragon is going to take it in the end.
So Dragon, he's going to be moving on to face SPX, who looked really strong in the macro, and Dragon showing that his macro is equally strong. So that's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, but before we get into that match, we have to take a quick little break, and then we'll be getting into our winners match to find out the first player to advance on the round of 8 out of Group A of the round of 16.